Hey everybody, welcome back. It's going to be 80 degrees today. It's almost the end of October. I don't usually see this. Now, the snowblower didn't get a lot of use last year. We didn't have much snow at all. Even more important that we make sure it's all greased and ready to go. Now last year I drained out all the gas, so there should be no carb issues with this because I ran the fuel out and then I drained what was in the carb bowl. We're going to go through this thing, hit all the grease zerks with this new lock and lube tool that I have. You've seen that in a different video. And we'll just go through and make sure it's all ready for work. So come along, I'll show you what we do. You want to inspect this plate when you take it off. Just look for, I haven't had this open since I rebuilt this, which was 2 years ago. I did a video on this whole rebuild, 2 or 3. Just want to look, you can see what a new belt will do. But there's no pile of belt debris, so that's good. And there's no mouse nests, that's another good thing too. We're looking for these grease zerks right here. So we're going to hit those. Lock and lube. This is a new one. This is the extended version. The other one is like maybe 2 inches or maybe an inch. It's pretty short, but this is great for getting in those hard reach places. And what is nice with these is it locks on. So when I lock onto this, it's on there, and I can pump the grease, and it doesn't spray out. As long as you got a good solid connection, it goes right where it's supposed to. See all that grease on there? Everything's looking good. You don't want any grease on that friction disc. So this snowblower, like many of them, has an interlock. So when I press down on my auger to get that going, it's going to lift this rod, and you'll see there's a horseshoe right there. And then I've got this bar, which is adjustable. This bar with a roller. There's a roller right here. You want to get that good and lubed. You can see I got a lot of grease on that. So when I engage the auger, this comes up, twists a little bit. It's supposed to. So now my auger is going. I want the drive to go. I pull on that. If I let go of the auger, this bar slides and it hangs on this horseshoe little thing. And these are adjustable. You can adjust these up and down as you need to. You usually don't have to. But that's what, then I can take my hand off the auger and I can basically do one-handed operation. I'm sorry, when I release the drive wheel, that slides, and then of course the auger shuts down. So you should have 2 of these horseshoes right here. Now you want to make sure that this is all really greased good. So all of these points here, you want to make sure have grease, because this one isn't really sliding much, but like this spring, if you can see that, spray some lithium grease on there, that helps. Just make sure that these are all good and lubed. Okay, the wheel's off. Jeez, I'm killing myself over here. Let me get right on there. And you really want to make sure you get this. The grease comes up all throughout that bearing, and then it'll really help get these teeth all greased up and lubed up. So there's that. I got one more here, which is right on the axle. This one is plugged up. That's the nice thing about it. you can really put a lot of pressure on it. So those grease zerks that are tight, here it comes. Now, if I had to hold that on, I probably wouldn't be able to get grease in this. Now get yourself a flashlight and take a good look inside here and make sure everything looks good, that you greased everything properly, you haven't missed any zerk fittings. Now if you have one of these older snow blowers and you have one of these on the side, many just have a pin that locks the axle so both tires will drive, so you basically get positive traction there. Make sure this thing works. There's a spring in here, and usually water gets in there and it won't want to close, especially on these old ones. So you want to make sure. See, now I can rotate this. You want to make sure that that works. So you want to put some never sees on here and make sure that you can get this to engage. You got to find the spot. See how that was kind of hard there? I need some grease on that. So once that engages, you don't want to do it when it's cold. You'll hear it in there. So now we got the axle is locked. Now when we pull it, you can have it so now it spins freely. Now if you don't have a setup like this where you have a pin where you can pull a pin clip, then you want that grease too. And you want to make sure when you buy a snowblower, always do it and you get it home. First thing you do with a brand new snowblower, on a new one, not one like these, because I can just take my wheels off with just 4 bolts. But you probably have a clip and you want to take these off because the wheel has a shaft that rides on the axle, and you want to coat that axle with as much grease as possible. If you don't, I will guarantee, if you get a flat tire, and you likely will, you'll never get those wheels off. They're impossible. They will rust and actually almost weld themselves to that axle. So make sure first thing you do, pull that pin, take the wheels off, grease the axle, then put it back on, and you'll be good. Here's another tip. As you can see, I tipped the snowblower up into that service position, and you're going to find underneath your dipstick there's an O-ring. That O-ring will go bad on a 35-year-old snow. It's an 86, so it's an old snowblower. You're going to want to replace this. Just use a big one from your, if you get the Harbor Freight package of nitrile O-rings, that works great. You won't have any leaks and when you tip it up in that position. Alright, here's the business end. Ugh, gross. So what you want to do in this end is you want to make sure that these shear pins are good and that they're not broken. And you'll know if they're broken because they're designed to break when you hit a curb or something, or an object under the snow. These will spin, so you want to make sure that those are in good shape. Is you want to grease these real good, and you'll know because it starts shooting out in the front. So we got grease coming out here. Push that old grease out, and then we'll put it here. These are real tight. Not a lot of room there for the grease to, but you want to make sure you grease these because if you get water in there, you're gonna have a problem. Okay, that's greased. Got fresh grease coming out there. I've already done this side. Fresh grease coming out here. So the gas is empty. Tank here. Ran it out. Drained the carburetor last spring. I'm gonna wait because I really don't know when it's gonna snow. So I'm not gonna put gas in this. I'm gonna put fresh ethanol-free fuel in here. The oil has been changed. Snowblowers don't get a lot of use. They really don't. I mean, even in a bad winter, you're maybe using it you're never using it like for more than a half an hour, really. Maybe you run it, if you had a huge piece of property, an hour, but I doubt that. They get very little use. That's why a lot of these motors become mini bike motors. So hopefully that gives you just an overview on what to do with your snowblower to get it ready. Fuel is going to be your biggest issue, leftover fuel. So hopefully that helps you, give you some ideas of the points you want to grease, the things you want to keep lubed. Oh, and don't forget, fill those tires up with air. So I can guarantee you, oh, this one's good. They'll probably be low. So thanks a lot for stopping by, watching this video, and we'll catch everybody in the next video.